and welcome to Karma's a Stitch. I'm Tonya, and this is a YouTube channel where we talk about knitting and crochet and other crafty stuff, mainly knitting and crochet. This week, it's been 2 weeks, a week and a half, since I have recorded an episode, and we've had such an exciting week and a half. Let me just tell you, we had very first trunk show, which we'll talk about at the end of this episode. But what an amazing, amazing community we have, you guys. So if you're new here, welcome, and thank you so much for joining us. And if you're returning, you guys, thank you. Thank you for being a part. Since our last episode, we did have our bingo game, which was a lot of fun. We did have our trunk show. We have our cast-on party coming up. So if you're interested in participating in the cast-on party, you need to send me a direct message on Instagram. And my Instagram is Karma's a Stitch. And that is also listed in the description box below. And that is this Saturday, May 3rd. So if you're interested in participating in that, you got to let me know. And I will add you to our Cast On Party Instagram group where I will post all the details. We'll talk more about the Cast On Party at the end of this episode. Now, I do my episodes. I have all of my projects in project bags in little cubbies on a wall in my house. And I call it my whip wall. And I have a dice app on my iPad. And I roll the dice on the screen and it tells me which cubby to go to on my whip wall. And there's a second dice on the screen that'll tell me which project to take out of that cubby. So last time we recorded an episode, I ended up pulling the Dathan. Who is that by? I'll put it on the screen, you guys. I'm so sorry. I feel like I should know these things. But these are the types of things that come to me at random times. Like I'm having lunch with Anthony and the name of this designer will pop up in my head. That's how it goes though, huh? I'm not going to look it up. I'll have put it on the screen. So the Dathan, I saw this pattern being worn by somebody at my local yarn shop and I just fell in love. I had seen them before, but she had done something different with the neck, the collar. The picture of this, where did I put it? It's in that blue bag. Where is that blue bag? You guys, I'm really losing my mind here. I'm gonna have to look it up. Let's see here. Yeah, it's called the Dathan Pullover by Kate Davies Designs. And it's a scrappy project. And I'll have put in a picture of it. But if you look at the neck, it's just got a little bit of ribbing around the neckline, which, I mean, it was okay, which is lovely if that's what you want. But it didn't appeal to me. There was nothing about this other than the fact that it was a scrappy sweater that stood out to me. Now, the person that was wearing this at my yarn shop had done something different with the neckline and it was like a cowl neck. And I was like, holy smokes, that looks so, so cozy. So I ended up deciding at that point in time when I saw hers that I needed one of these. And I finished it this week, you guys. So what I ended up doing, so like I said, the neckline is, it's not the same as in the pattern. But what I ended up doing was when I got to the neck, when it was time to do the collar, I increased, I think I increased by 12 or 14 stitches. So it was wider than what the hole for the neck was. And then I just built it straight up for about 11 inches. And then I folded it inside itself. So here is the Dathan. I will put it on so you guys can see it. But if you look at this, it's all scrappy, and I'll put it up closer. So I ended up setting my dice app so that it was a 4-sided dice. And you'll see that I would roll a 1 and I would end up doing 1 row of knitting for that color. I'd put that color away, I'd roll the dice again, and then I ended up doing 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of the next color. Put that color away, get the next one, 1, 2, 3. And then I would put that away, pull the next one, and it would be a 1. So I just let the dice. So this is completely random, and I let the dice do it. I didn't have to think about it. I would put one color away, and then I'd pull the next one out, and that's how I ended up managing that. And I didn't have to think about anything. Once I got through all the colors, I put them all back in the bag, and I just started again, random. So I will put it on so you guys can see it. 1 second. Okay, here you go. I'll go down just a little bit. Sorry, I went too high. But isn't that lovely? I am so, it has not been blocked yet. Oh, this looks so, so great. I love the neck. Like I said, I increased when I picked up the stitches for the neck. I just increased by either 12 or 14. I don't remember now. And then I just went straight up. And then once I went straight up for like 11 inches, I bound it off, put it inside of itself because, you know, then I don't have to see the purl side either. And all of the ends for these color changes are stuffed inside of these 2 layers. You see that? So I don't have to do any of those ends. But isn't that so beautiful? Oh my goodness, I love it. So, I've got another finished garment. How lovely. Okay, so yeah, that is my Dathan. Now, with that being said, you guys, this is a scrappy project, which means every 1 to 4 rows, I'm switching colors. And when you switch colors, you have an end to each color. Look at all of those ends. Look at all of them. So I did weave them in as I went. So hopefully it won't take me too awful long to just go through, make sure that they're really secure, and then I'll block it and then I'll trim them. I'm gonna do that tonight at my nail appointment. While I'm getting my pedicure, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure all my ends are nice and secure and then clip them so that they're not quite this long. But I will leave a little bit. So as I block, there's some give there. But yeah, I've got an FO. And this project, I have already got it in my spreadsheet, and it had 484 grams. 484 grams. So that's amazing. That feels so good to have finished, but it is time to see what we're going to work on this week. So let me get the dice app open. All right. So here is my dice app. Well, if I can find the screen. And I'm going to touch the screen. We're going to go to cubby 9 and take out project number 2. Let's go see what we get. Okay, here's the whip wall. So we're going to go to cubby number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to take project number 1, 2. Let's go see what's in here. Okay, so I've got my project bag by Knitted Niceties, who is local to me. And in this project bag, I have my Rad Vent cardigan, another scrappy project. So it's by Amba O'Brien. And the really cool thing about this one is that it starts at the cuff and you work your way across. So it starts at the cuff and you work your way across the cardigan like that. So that's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about that. One thing a little less exciting about this project is that I know that I really want it. I love the wool that I have, but this is as far as I've gotten. I have not made much progress on this. But nonetheless, I am excited about this. I do want another cardigan. This project is being done on a US 6, and I am using my 2023 Advent from Little Lycac and Little Lycac Yarns, and her theme was the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So I had laid them all out, and I decided, let me just take this one out of the bag. So I put them in the order that I wanted them. And this color here was my day 23 color. But as I put them in order of how I want them in my cardigan, this is actually going to be the 3rd color in the cardigan. So I kept these numbers on there just because it was easy for me to write the order in which I wanted it. But I haven't made much progress. This week I could make some progress. I've been so very busy getting ready for that trunk show. And you guys, what a fantastic time. I just had such a lovely, lovely time. The trunk show started on Friday. And so I went in on Thursday and we set up. But as I got there on Thursday, I still had some colors that needed to be skeined up, and I had some twisted into skeins, and I had lots that I needed to still put labels on. And I got home and I'm running around like a mad woman, trying to get all of these last minute things done so that we can go and have it up on the racks on Friday morning as part of the display. It's my first trunk show. And I definitely had a learning lesson, and that was labels. I had plenty of ball bands, which I do want to show you guys my ball bands. I'm going to go grab them. I'll be right back. Okay. So I had my ball bands made up at a print shop, and I knew in my mind what I wanted. And I wanted my logo. Okay. Karma's a stitch, creating good karma, one stitch at a time. But do you see the blue flower behind my logo? I wanted that flower to be different colors by weight of yarn, so that when you pick up a skein and you look at it, you'll know that this is a fingering weight yarn because it's got the blue sun on it. And yes, when I wrap this around a skein of yarn, I'll have the label, as far as the fiber content and stuff like that, and you'll know that it's fingering. But you can tell that just by looking at the ball band. And then I had orange ones for DK. So each weight of yarn has its own color. Now, I thought that was incredibly clever. It made perfect sense to me. But one thing I learned is that my next trunk show, I will have a board that says what that difference is. Because lots of people noticed the difference, but they didn't know, just by looking at it, obviously, that blue mint fingering and orange mint DK, for example. So I'm gonna have a chart made that shows the different colors and the yarn weights that I've got, so that when they look at the skein, they know what it is. Now, the labels that I ran out of are, when you wrap this around a skein of yarn, the label that you put right here with the fiber content, I ran out. You guys, I had like 200 of them, and I didn't realize I was running low. I didn't realize I wasn't gonna have any. I didn't realize I was gonna run out until like 11 o'clock at night. So that is one thing I will make sure never happens again. And people were very understanding. I only had, a couple different bases, so it was easy enough for me to tell them because I was there for the show. It was easy enough for me to tell them. But yeah, lesson learned. I had to have at least one snafu, right? Well, that was it. Now, Saturday was local yarn shop day, worldwide, right? And because I was doing a trunk show there, Erica, the shop owner, asked me if I would do her exclusive colorway for Local Yarn Shop Day 2025. And she gave me this painting that she wanted to have as the inspiration photo. Right? Isn't that beautiful? Now, this painting, this image, this piece of art was done by a local artist who Erica knows through other areas. But so she said, Tonya, I'd really like to have this be the inspiration photo for the Local Yarn Shop Day exclusive colorway. And I said, holy cow, what a challenge, but what a fun challenge, right? You guys, can I just say I'm so incredibly proud of myself. I'm gonna toot my own horn right now. So here is our exclusive colorway. Didn't that turn out so beautiful? The artist ended up coming into the yarn shop, and she was looking at it and she said, oh my gosh, this right here, it's just amazing. I'm so pleased with how this turned out. I'm very proud of myself for this one. So yeah, it was very exciting. And then Erica ended up asking me to do 3 contrasting minis to go with the main skein. And then she gave a full skein and one of each of the minis to one of the other lovely ladies at the shop, and to do a sample so people could see how it knit up. And she asked her to do that on Tuesday night. Keep in mind, Local Yarn Shop Day is Saturday. So she cast it on Tuesday evening. And when she came to the shop on Saturday, because she works there, so just before the shop opened, and she was binding it off. She was going to have that done before those doors got unlocked Saturday morning, and she did it. So I got some video and some of her binding it off and of her holding the finished object, or the finished shawl. So yeah, it was just so wonderful. And then another just wonderful customer brought in a cake that had knitting needles in it, just saying congratulations to our trunk show debut. And it was just wonderful. We just have a wonderful community. But yeah, so that was exciting. And because it was Local Yarn Shop Day, it was busy. It was so very, very busy. And I'll have a video at the end. I will speed it up because I thought it would be cool to get everybody's feet, because there was a line to get into the yarn shop. I think they started lining up well over 2 hours before the shop opened. And there was a line of people to get into the yarn shop. And I got a video of all the feet walking into the yarn shop just as they flowed in as soon as we opened the door. So I just thought that would be fun. So there's going to be lots of extra video at the end of this episode. So if you're not interested in watching any of that, that is a-okay. But there is quite a bit. So we talked about my FO. I'm going to weave in those ends tonight, or at least some of them. And we rolled the dice. We got my new whip. We talked about the trunk show. Bingo's done. We have our cast on party this weekend. Oh, the cast on party. I'm so excited about this. I haven't had a cast on party where I cast on a lot in a while. This may be that weekend. We have our Instagram group, and inside the cast on group, people are talking about projects they're doing. They're getting lists. I've already heard somebody say, oh, I'm going to do this top. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing. I think I need one of those as well. So I think I have my first project that I've swiped from somebody else. Thank you, Nancy. Because I am very excited to be having this cast on party. Now, one of the questions that got asked in our Instagram group was, how do I get ready for this? This is my first cast on party. How do I get ready? Well, I open the Zoom room at 10 a.m. My time. I'm in Boise, Idaho. Just Google it and say, what time is it in Boise, Idaho? And then figure out what the time difference is for you. I open the room at 10 a.m. my time, and we're on all day. I mean, I think the earliest I've closed the Zoom room is midnight. So I know I have to have snacks. I know I need to be hydrated. There is chit chat going on. There's conversations, there's jokes, there's recipes. It's just a day of hanging out with some really amazing, talented people. So how can you get ready for that? Well, the first thing I would say is make sure you have snacks. Make sure you have stuff to drink. Make sure you get up and move around, right? Like have some things, like I've got Cinder who I'm doing physical therapy with. I will get up and walk Cinder during the cast on party. But to get your projects ready, you have to have a lineup. That's what I call mine, because I have a lineup of projects and I just line them up. And inside each project bag, I have the pattern, which I've gone through and highlighted. I've circled my size. I have the wool, which is wound up. I have the needles. If I've gone through the pattern and I have to cast on more than 100 stitches, I will have that initial number already on the needle. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if we're on Zoom and I have my screen of people and everybody's, in the little grid, and I see somebody counting, I will try to mess with their counting. I will count over them. I will throw numbers out, and I promise I am not the only person that will do that. So have that number already cast on, because I had one cast on party where, I'm not kidding when I say it took me over 3 hours to get those numbers on there, because I kept messing up with the counting. Because it takes a little bit to get a large number on there, and there's this conversation and then this conversation and this thing going on and this is talking and that person, and you want to look at this pattern. So many things happening that it took me 3 hours to get that initial number on the needle. Have that done. Go through and mark the size that you're going to be doing. Get comfortable with what you're going to be casting on, and then be prepared to see somebody else say, hey, I'm casting this on right now, and be like, oh, I think I have another empty project bag. I think I have a colorway in my stash that would look amazing in. Like I have 3 skeins that are coordinating colors that I would love to put into a project together. I bought them specific. I have no idea what project to put them in. And this Saturday during that cast on party, somebody might be doing something. I might be like, that's what I'm doing. That is what those 3 colors need to be. So those are a few things to have to be thinking about if you're going to be, oh, Cinder just heard somebody drive by. Sorry about that. So those are a few things to think about. Now, that's a long day. And if you can't join right away in the morning, that's okay. If you're not going to be able to stay late, that's okay too. And if you need to get on in the morning and then go have lunch with your family or go pull weeds in your garden or go do something, we'll be there when you get back. We're going to be there pretty much all day. Unless I really don't sleep good and I'll be like, sorry guys, I got to go to bed. But for the most part, we're going to be there all day. So come in and leave whenever you want. It's not a structured thing. It truly is just a get together of casting on fun projects and visiting with some amazing people. Now, with that being said, there are some ladies on there that are incredibly motivated to get stuff on the needles this weekend. So I am excited to be able to come out of that this weekend and say, this is how many Tonya did. This is how many so-and-so did. This is how many so-and-so did, and have a total number from everybody that participated. I want a total number of how many whip babies were born on Saturday, May 3rd. I'm so excited. So with all of that being said, I think that's all I've got for you guys this week. Thank you guys so much for being a part of, and I will see you hopefully in a week. Let's see if I can just get back on a regular routine. All right, you guys, we'll see you later. Bye.